Good evening. Calling the Antioch Police Oversight Commission to order at 6:30 p.m. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Commissioner Kennedy,
Here.
Commissioner Lacey Oha,
Present.
Commissioner Haddon, Commissioner Alaquachi,
Present.
Commissioner Mitchell, Vice Chair Williams,
I'm here.
and Chair Taylor.
Present.
We have a quorum with Commissioner Haddon and Commissioner Mitchell absent at roll call.
Thank you. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? The consent calendar. We have the meeting minutes of July 7th with a recommendation to approve. Is there a motion?
No public comments received.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank
yeah.
you.
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Can we have a vote, please? Yes, we can do a roll call vote.
Sorry. Commissioner Kennedy,
Aye.
Commissioner Lacey Oha,
Aye.
Commissioner Alaquachi,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
and Chair Taylor.
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. On to item 4, 2024 military equipment report.
All right, good evening, Chair, Commissioners, and members of the public. Tonight, I am presenting the 2024 Annual Military Equipment Use Report for the Antioch Police Department in compliance with Assembly Bill 481 and our city's military equipment use policy. Just a little background, Assembly Bill 481 was approved in 2021, which requires law enforcement agencies to obtain approval for military equipment use policy and to provide an annual report detailing equipment use, costs, complaints, and future acquisition plans. The Antioch City Council originally approved our military equipment use policy on May 24th of 2022. Most recently, on September 10th of 2024, the City Council approved the prior year's report and approved the continued use of this equipment. This report that you have before you fulfills the legal mandate outlined in Government Code Section 7070 to 7072. These sections require an annual update covering how the military equipment was used, the costs involved, community feedback, and plans for future acquisitions. So in that report you have before you, I've outlined some of the use summaries. If I can just add to that report there, in doing my triple check post-publication and prior to tonight's meeting, I came across two more, and as it relates to the use of the armored rescue vehicle. So on March 5th of 2024, the armored rescue vehicle was used to assist the San Francisco Police Department's tactical team on a search and arrest warrant service. And again, on August 9th of 2024, the armored rescue vehicle was used to assist the Daly City Police Department with another high-risk search and arrest warrant. And so those two additionals will be added to the annual report prior to submission to City Council. So you'll see in that report there, it covers the unmanned aerial systems, the drones, and it was 51 hours of flight time in there. You'll notice the complaints and community concerns. There were no formal complaints for the military equipment in 2024, no policy violations, And then the future acquisitions, you'll note in the bottom, we are anticipating the additional armored vehicles that will be acquired by hopefully the end of this year. And those vehicles were approved by council, I believe, back in March. And then as far as the public engagement requirement, we're here tonight for the meeting to allow the community to address their any concerns or questions they may have. So with that, I'll conclude, and you know, the 2024 report that you have before you to operate, you know, is provided. We also did the publication a couple weeks ago for the community, and this is all for the transparency and maintain public trust, and to ensure that all of our military equipment aligns with state law and our local policy. So with that, I'll turn it back over to the commission.
Thank you. Is there any public comment? And then we can do our questions if we have them for Captain. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, okay. So yes, I open the floor for public hearing. And
So with the public hearing, we would normally have a proponent and an opponent to the submission. I do not believe we have a proponent for accepting this report. And do we have an opponent for accepting this report? Seeing or hearing nothing, then that would, I think that the public hearing could be closed.
thank you. Do we need to motion for that?
Yes.
Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second. And a roll call, please. A second.
Thank you. Commissioner Kennedy?
Aye.
Commissioner Lacey Oha?
Aye.
Commissioner Alakwachi?
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams?
Aye.
And Chair Taylor?
Aye.
We have a quorum 5-0. We have approved 5-0.
Just to be clear, City Attorney, we don't have to take any open comment on that.
No, during public hearings, so there's a proponent and opponent.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there is also public comment that would usually be 5 minutes for public comment,
Mhm.
but, so I think that the proper thing would be to open it to public comment,
Okay.
but usually just, since there was nobody proposing it
Mhm.
and opposing it for procedural sake, I think it's just best to open it for public comment.
Absolutely. Is there any public comment? Grand. All right.
No
Let's
public
move
comments received.
And then we'll move forward to Police Chief's report out.
All right, good evening, Chair, Commission. Thanks for having me tonight. Chief E. Hill is off this week, so I'm filling in for him. He's on a much-needed vacation, so I'll give a quick update. Everything's going really well at the PD. Chief E. Hill is doing an exceptional job leading the men and women of the department. Our hiring and recruiting efforts are going strong, mostly due to our recruiting team and HR. Staffing is going really well. We currently have 90 full-time sworn police officers with 5 in the academy. Several laterals are in the hiring process at some stage. We also have lieutenant and captain testing in process now. We're hoping that should be concluding sometime next week. When it comes to training, all officers are in their current training cycle for 2025. In July, we completed our principal policing training, which went really well. Use of force training is lined up for September, and then patrol procedure training in August. And we welcome anybody from APOC to attend those if you like. Community engagement efforts continue to go really strong. This past Saturday, we had our neighborhood cleanup at Marquette Park, and that was on Saturday. We had a decent turnout, but we're always looking for for more to participate. There's probably about a dozen citizens there. The majority were PD personnel, a few residents. So if you can pass the word, we hold those cleanups the first Saturday of every month. I don't think we have the location for the next one yet, but it will be on September 6th, and you're welcome to come out and assist us if you like. National Night Out is tomorrow night. That's a big event. We have 12 different locations that we'll be attending throughout town with department staff, city staff, and I believe in some of the commission is coming out. So we thank you for coming out and welcome you to come out as well. Tomorrow, we are also doing the back to school backpack drive. So our staff have been working really hard on getting donations and so forth for backpacks for children in need. So they raised a bunch of money, got a bunch of donations, purchased about 160 backpacks with supplies. They will drop those off tomorrow to the school district, and those backpacks will be handed out to the students who are in need. So that's an update for the most part on what's going on in the police department. I'm willing to answer any questions, and like I said, things are going really, really well. I just want to remind the commission and the chair from here on out, if you weren't already aware, any requests for information from the PD, ride-along, stuff such as that, we recommend that you go to the city manager for those items if you can. So other than that, I'm welcome to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Is there any public comment?
No public comments received.
Thank you. You guys have questions?
Just one. So the, excuse me. So we have 5 in the academy, and then we have, in addition to that, laterals in the hiring process. The lieutenant and captain testing, those are for the vacancies based on promotions, and the community engagement captain, correct?
Correct. That is
Okay.
correct. So the laterals that we have in process, they're early in the process, and as of right now, I know there's at least 3, and then for the promotional process we have right now, it's for captain and lieutenant. As you mentioned, we have 2 vacant captain positions, and then we have anywhere from 3 to 5 vacant lieutenant positions.
Okay, great. And then you had mentioned, and I'm sorry, I didn't pick it up, that the August training is on what topic again?
The August training would actually, I might have mixed the topics up. August is going to be patrol procedures.
Got it.
And that's kind of a vague term, but it's mostly just helping our officers in report preparation, investigation, stuff like that. And then the following month in September, that will be use of force and de-escalation and defensive tactics. So the past training we had in July, that was principal policing. Our staff and also an outside trainer came in, did a fantastic job. Cal DOJ sat in during that training, and it went really well.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Commissioner Hall, questions?
Well, I know it's probably too late to share this information with us, but you mentioned that there were 12 locations. Well, 12 locations will be hosting the National Night Out.
Yes.
Do you by any chance have a list or know where those
Yeah, I actually have a list here. I'll leave it.
Could you-
Yeah, it might have been sent out. If it's not sent out, I have a list with me tonight. So
Okay.
You can take a photo of it, or I can give it to you tonight if you like.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Thank you.
emailed.
Yeah.
Susan emailed it out.
Yeah. Also, so where's that posted for the public? Is that on the website, the APD website?
The locations?
Uh-huh.
No, I don't believe we post that.
Mhm.
If anybody has any questions on locations, I think they can reach out to probably Sergeant Fashner
Okay.
or myself.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm not too sure why we don't post that. I'm sure there's a reason why, but traditionally we haven't posted it online.
Oh, okay.
But if somebody is, wants to know of a location or a location, the nearest location to their home, they can reach out. We'll provide that to them.
I think the individual hosts kind of post them.
Yeah,
the
and there's a
nonprofits.
lot of there's some personal information on who hosts it with their telephone number
Right.
and stuff like that and their names. So I think they may want to kind of
Okay.
not stay private, but probably not put that out there.
Okay. Cool.
Wanted to just make sure you were done with your questions.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have other questions?
You mentioned training for August and September. Do you have a schedule for the rest of the year for training?
Yes, we do.
So we can kind of prep ourselves to see which ones.
Yeah,
Can you-
absolutely.
Can you share that with
Yeah,
us?
we'll share that. I know I can have Sergeant Fashioner send that to you, or the next meeting, policy meeting you have with Lieutenant Cook. I can have him provide that as well.
Okay, appreciate it.
No problem.
I have no questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Moving on to item 5-2, selection of.
I believe you need public comment for the last item.
We opened up for public comment
Oh, did you?
earlier. Yeah, there were no
Oh,
public comments.
I apologize.
No worries. Thank you. Did I skip it? Oh, yes. There's supposed to be canine reach presentations as well, so we can move forward to those. Mhm. Yes, please.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Bill Whitaker, and part of my ancillary duties are to supervise the canine unit. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of our canine unit, kind of the general responsibilities they have, as well as what they kind of do on a day-to-day basis, as well as how much training goes into the dogs prior to and then on a monthly basis. So So currently, the Antioch Police Department Canine Unit has 4 police service dogs with 4 handlers. We kind of have fluctuated over the last few years with a max of 6, which we are allotted for. Currently, we have 4. The first team is Officer Kyle Smith and his canine Boss. We just actually acquired Boss in March of this year from the Pittsburgh Police Department, and he has gone through his training. Prior to that, he had his canine Kona. He's been in the canine unit for 8 years, and his current assignment is patrol, and his dog is patrol certified. There is a likelihood he will get a detection specialty. For you to know, we do police work and detection, and then one of our dogs only does detection, so it won't do apprehensions and things like that. The next canine team is Officer Bushby and Officer Knox, or in Canine Knox. He is the one that is only certified right now to do detection work for firearms, ammunition, and firearm parts. He is also assigned to our patrol division, and he has been on the canine unit for 3 years. Then we have Officer Marquez and Canine Cato. Officer Marquez has been at Antioch for 5 years and has had Cato for 3. He specializes in locating and apprehending violent criminals, evidence, and then his detection specialty is firearms and ammunition and firearms parts. And our last and newest is Officer Yega and Canine Loki. They just recently joined the team. They're under a year on the street, and he is specialized in just patrol functions at this time. So what the canines are used for at Antioch is de-escalation of rapidly evolving situations, locating missing people, locating firearms. We used to have a narcotics dog. Unfortunately, Kona retired, and his new dog hasn't been given a detection specialty yet. So currently, we just do firearms for 2 of our 4 dogs. The other 2 have not been, have not gone through detection specialized training yet. Community engagement events, typically with the schools, is the primary, and then locating and apprehending violent criminals. So this is the rough outline. These dogs come typically from Eastern Europe. They are trained prior to coming here, and then they're retrained with their handler for the commands and all within post-certification. So once they're selected, they complete the California Post Canine School, which is 6 weeks and 240 hours. After completing handler and canine schools, they are required to, per post, to do 20 hours a month of training. And the teams complete an annual certification. That is by a party that doesn't train or have any association with Antioch, but they're a post evaluator for the canines. I do that. I don't do it for Antioch, obviously, but I do it for other agencies in the area where I basically go and do their testing once a year. So that is done yearly for their certification. And if you all have any questions, I can answer to the best of my ability.
Are there any questions from the commissioners? I'm gonna do it after.
How often are the dogs deployed for reasons of subduing and helping sort of corral an individual or criminals?
So I kind of knew you were going to ask that, so I brought some statistics. So I'll just let you know the industry standard in California is the apprehension with injuries, meaning that the dog bit the person, is about 20%. So use that as your kind of baseline to understand what the industry standard is. And when I give you these numbers, you'll see a little bit of a different number. But in 2024, we only had 2 dogs working for the entire year. Out of those dogs, Canine Marquez and Cato deployed 28 times, meaning the dog was out and could have bitten somebody if reasonable. And during those 28 deployments, he found 31 people, which is kind of funny because some cases have multiple suspects, and he had 2 apprehensions, which is a 6% total apprehension with injury, which is obviously, you guys could do the math, 14% lower than the industry standard. Our other service dog was Officer Smith with the now retired K9 Kona. He had 11 deployments with 13 people found, and he had 1 apprehension with injury, which was a 7% ratio, so 13% below. This year, our statistics are, and that was for all of calendar year 2024. This year, from January till June 31st, we have now 4 dogs. We have a total of 70 deployments with 1 apprehension with injury. 3 of the dogs have 0% injury, meaning they have not had any street bites, but they've been used. 1 16 times, a newer dog 2 times, and the 3rd dog 5 times were deployed. The other dog was deployed 39 times, had 1 apprehension with injury for a total of 1%. So as a unit, we are 1% apprehension with injuries in a usage of over 70 times.
Great to know. Thank you very much.
Can you just repeat the stats for this year? I'm sorry.
So this year we have 4 canines now.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Smith and K9 Boss deployed 16 times, 16 arrests, 0 apprehensions with injuries. Officer Bushby and K9 Knox had 2 deployments, 1 arrest, 0 apprehensions with injuries. Mm-hmm. Officer Marquez and Cato had 39 deployments, 38 arrests, 1 injury with apprehension for a total of 1% of his deployments. And Officer Yega, who is our newest handler, had 5 deployments, no arrests, and no apprehension with injuries.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have questions, Commissioner Hall? No. Mm-hmm.
Do you think you're improving? Seems like it.
I mean, yes, I would like to be up to 6 dogs because the dogs are a useful tool in our profession. I think it also gives full 24-hour coverage. Mm-hmm. I believe with the 4 dogs we have, we're doing an exceptional job. Even if I didn't pull stats in 2023, but the stats in 2023 are very consistent with 2024. So I think we're doing an excellent job. We have, with Lieutenant Cook, have updated our policy. Mm-hmm. We're meeting or exceeding industry standards in training, as well as well below the average of the industry standard on apprehensions with injuries.
So what do you think you're doing differently?
I mean, obviously, I think it's probably from a top-down approach. different leadership, better policy. Part of that policy is the apprehension guidelines of when we're using the dog and deploying the dog, and then we've selected just quality individual officers who are making the right decisions day in and day out. And, you know, that's all we can ask for, especially with the city liability that comes with the canine unit.
Thank you.
What does training look like? You mentioned that the 2 of the 4 have specialties, but the other 2 have not yet went to training. What does training look like? When should that happen? And then what does ongoing training look like for both
So-
the handler and the dogs?
Okay, so ongoing training is 4 Thursdays a month for 5 hours, which hits the 20 hours. The detection training, typically, depending what it is between 4 and 6 weeks long. So during that 4 to 6 weeks, they learn their detection specialty, which is imprinting the odor for the dog, and then basically playing the hide-and-go-seek game with that odor, and they get paid. All of our dogs are paid with play and toy. So the 2 dogs that do firearms and ammunition have already gone to the school. The other 2 dogs we're anticipating, we will test them through our trainer to see where their capabilities are. Narcotics is much easier than, say, bomb detection. Bomb detection, accelerant detection, and firearms ammunition is 6 weeks, and it's a little bit harder, and they have to have a really high drive and a really good nose versus narcotics. But the plan is to send the other 2 dogs, but we make sure before we do that, and this is kind of a principle that all of us in our administration have, is make sure they're very efficient on patrol and their daily duties first, and once they're there, then we'll give them the next tidbit, whether that be tracking, detection, evidence location, et cetera.
Thank you. And outside of the detection training, is there ongoing training that they just go through at the force?
So, I mean, they do all of the officer training like everybody else does, and then the canine unit specifically does additional 20 hours a month.
A month, okay.
A month, yes, and that's post-standard, and typically, I look at those every month and do the statistics, and most of them typically do more than the 20 hours.
Great. Question? Mhm.
So my last question is regarding incidents where they're at their trainer's home. Who tracks that? How is that tracked? If there's any incidents that occur with the
So-
dog getting out?
That would be immediately notified to myself and then the sergeant in charge of the canine unit as well. So basic command notification, which would be to, at this point, it's Sergeant Palma. Sergeant Palma would notify me. I would then notify Captain Bittner and the chief. We have had no incidents.
Okay, since when?
To my understanding, I've only been here just over 5 years. I don't believe we've ever had a dog get loose, and I don't know that we've, like decade plus or more, and then injuries, something similar to that. We had one incident about 5 years ago, but it was nothing to do, it was the handlers
Okay.
issue, so.
Are there any other questions?
I did have a question about, you said these dogs are flown from Eastern Europe. Is that why we're not up to 6 dogs? Is it kind of hard to get them here, or?
No,
Okay.
the trainer who we use is out of Sacramento. He can get dogs all of the time. It
Okay.
is training and experience. It takes a lot of dedication on top of that. Having been a prior handler myself for 5 years, you have something that you work with at home every single day that gets very tiring, even though it's something you love.
Yeah.
So with that said, I would say age of our department and experience, and as we get people that are at that part of their career, then we would, encourage them to put in. But right now, I would say it's because of experience.
And then my second question, thank you. And then my second question, when someone does get a apprehension injury, where is it treated? Where is that person treated?
So any apprehension with injury, there's obviously command from the patrol sergeant upward, command notifications, as well as, you guys know, blue team, use of force review, as well as they're treated at the scene, either by the officer or paramedics. And from there, they have to go to the hospital before they go to county jail. So they have the clearance of medical provided at the scene immediately, as well as through the hospital, and then prior, once they're at MDF, there's a nurse or doctor at MDF as well. So.
Okay, That's it for me.
Any other questions?
So I just wanted to be clear that all of the K-9s have been brought to Antioch, APD within the last 5 years, correct?
All the current dogs, yes,
All
ma'am.
the current dogs.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you don't so I'm assuming you don't have any dogs that have been with the police department prior to 2020?
No.
Okay,
The longest tenured dog has 3 years in the department,
okay,
and what you're asking, he has no involvement in any of that.
okay, thank you.
Good question. Any others? All right, thank you. Is there any public comment?
No public comments for this item.
On to the REACH presentation. REACH.
Good evening, Chair, Commission members, city staff, members of the audience. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to join the Antioch Police Department in its presentation tonight. REACH project's responsibilities at the police department are entirely youth-based. We provide a opportunity and an alternative. The opportunity is to learn from the mistakes that were carried out, maybe mistakes singular, maybe I shouldn't put the S at the end of it. And then also an alternative to the process by which the juvenile justice system would be involved, and the benefits of avoiding that system are just paramount. So just a quick history. In 1968, the Antioch City Council appointed a committee to address strong concerns around its youth and families, including just the explosion of substance abuse that was going on nationally and probably even beyond that, but certainly in our community. The committee's recommendation to the council was the creation of REACH project in partnership with the Antioch Police Department. And that was in 1968. If we can start the slides. Oh, I see.
I have a quick question. I wanted to ask, what is the acronym REACH? What is?
I'm sorry to start with an apology. You know, we're told you should never do that. It's proof that we were created in 1968. It stands for Rehabilitation, Education, and Awareness for Community Humanitarianism. And the inside joke at REACH Project is we're not entirely sure humanitarianism is a recognized word. Oh, okay, no problem.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Sure.
And I should know this, but
Rehabilitation, comma, education, and awareness for community humanitarianism. Very welcome. So maybe why we're doing that, I can certainly address some of the salient aspects of what's referred to as a juvenile diversion program. It started in actually 1983 between the Antioch Police Department REACH project and juvenile probation at the time, and has been operating since. Said in a simple way, it takes what originates as an incident that involves a call for service on the part of the police department, said in plain language. Someone's kind of done something wrong, getting into trouble, that kind of thing. And the referral can, if chosen by the supervisor within the patrols, the patrol system, can route that case to the REACH project. So this here, if you're not already familiar, this is actually the REACH Community Center, which in 1986 was renovated. It took about a year and a half. In the agreement with the city of Antioch at that time, and I guess still continues today, but the original agreement was that, and it was a dilapidated, it's a set of 2 buildings. You get a good look at the front building here, and this is the hub of our services. And the agreement was, as long as the renovation did not incur tax dollars, public tax dollars, then REACH project can be located at this location for $1 a year for 10-year leases. And we're on, I don't know however many 10-year leases has taken place. It was, from what I understand, it was just a beautiful thing. Trades, unions, carpenters, it had to be pulled down to the frame. It looked like one of those awful pictures you'd see in the aftermath of like a tornado or a hurricane. I mean, just the frame and the fireplace were the only things left. And we've been able to occupy it ever since. One of our staff, I understand, in 1986 made the comment when it was all complete, and it still resonates today, I believe. It's a very poignant thing that she said, and she said, maybe when people come here, they think that my problem is not so bad. So we work with youth, first and foremost, around the incident that was involved, and have just, spend the time to break it down, so to speak, and what was your involvement, what could you have done differently. Parents are invited in that process. We probably half of the parents choose to participate and the other half do not. Sometimes it's just frustration on their part that he or she got themselves into it and they're going to kind of own the responsibility for it. The time involved with REACH project beyond that, and we have a time frame of 3 to 9 months based upon a screening and assessment and that kind of thing within a behavioral health model I don't think I've recognized yet. But moving past the incident, and that could be a brief, 1 to 2 session kind of thing. It could be a little bit longer. It could be that REACH project contacts the parents if they're not engaged in that process and really kind of emphasize the need for them to be involved. So that first stage, it could be, if someone owns their responsibility, it's generally pretty quick. If not, we work real hard to get them to accept the responsibility. Beyond that, then it moves into a behavioral health model. This is a combination. This is actually something called EPSDT, which is part of that behavioral health model. Thank you for changing the slide. So the first, aspect or phase, being incident specific, very much includes an understanding of the role of law enforcement and the service that they provide and the assistance that they provide. This marks a transition away from law enforcement kind of principles and around what kind of behaviors are you having, what kind of relationships, what kind of goals do you have. And this model here represents most of that, if it's as many as 9 months, most of their time at REACH projects. I know it's technical. This is actually REACH's own, the EPSDT model, which is up there somewhere, I think in type print, is not our model. It's actually from the state. And what it does for the program is it does several things. First, what it does is it expands the time in which we can engage families to 60 days. Otherwise, the standard is 30 days. So that's the first thing that happens. The next thing that happens is just like super, super exciting, and that is that after the 60 days, and just kind of, I guess I'm going to ask you to trust me within that model, is the screening and assessment. Within that 60 days, then, is a connection to an appropriate level, and we have three levels up to that 9-month level around treatment, addressing behavioral health, and oftentimes substance abuse. One of the other things that it does is it extends to family members, and the age range, I believe it's up in there somewhere, is 10 years old, and actually up to 21, something called TAY, Transition Age Youth, so 18 to 21 years old. And probably the most exciting thing, and this is new for us, just with, well, probably a year now, and we're just getting our feet kind of underneath us, is it automatically puts in place an annual review for the youth and the families. So let's say a 12-year-old is a participant through a referral from the police department. They complete the REACH program at 12 years old. They come back for a screening at 13 years old, and 14, 15, 16, all the way up to their 21st birthday. And we know the is it trials and tribulations? We know the ups and downs. We know the developmental stages of adolescence and older adolescence, and things change. And the relief on parents' faces when we explain that aspect is just great. The last slide is just a kind of a bird's eye view of certainly the work in the middle with the Antioch Police Department, but also community-wide, our work with schools and Contra Costa County Health Services Department. So I think rather than risk going on too long, I think I'll pause there and stop there and see if there's any questions or comments. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do you have questions, Commissioner?
I did have a few questions I wrote. Does anybody else want to go first? We can, okay. So I was just seeing, how many students or youth do you have participate each year?
We've been averaging about 300 to 400, and that's across all our services and all our contacts, about 30 a month.
Oh, wow.
With the EPSDT, and if I can, Devin, if you don't mind me interjecting, I haven't shared the acronym itself, so it's early periodic screening, diagnosis, more than screening, and treatment, and that's EPSDT.
Thank you. That was actually my question
Oh,
here.
yeah, my mistake.
No, that's okay. And is there any data that shows what are some of the most common substances used, or if is it like
Still marijuana.
Still marijuana.
It's still marijuana.
Okay. Even though it's not legal for youth.
Right.
And then my other, what are some of the demographics of the participants? Is there a chart that shows the age, race, etc.?
We have that data, absolutely. We're required to keep it. I'm afraid I didn't come prepared tonight, so
That's okay.
perhaps I
Maybe we
can
can have like a
work
follow-up
with the
meeting.
chief or Captain
Yeah.
Bittner to get that information back to the
Yeah.
commission. Be happy to do so.
Just be something that I would like to look at anyway.
Absolutely.
And that was all the questions I had now. So
Thank you.
pass it. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, in addition to the demographics, what
Mhm.
I am interested in knowing is how many females versus males are being referred to the REACH program. You know, the girls versus
Sure.
the boys.
Sure.
I'm curious to know that.
And I will certainly provide that
Thank
too,
you.
and didn't come tonight. I can tell you that significantly more males than females are referred into the program. I just know that,
Thank you.
if that's helpful.
Okay. Do you have questions, Commissioner? No. Okay. You mentioned earlier that if a child or youth transitions out of REACH, and
Mhm.
then you guys reach out annually. So
Right.
when you reach out and like say if the child is having a crisis, are they re-enrolled? Do they start the process over, or what's the follow-up?
They start that same flow chart that was in the slide.
So they basically start the process over and go through
Right.
another
Completely
60 days.
voluntary. And the
Okay.
hope is that they are, the level of connection that they have to the principles that are, these kind of healthy ways will help motivate them to return and continue their involvement.
When did that start, that portion of the program?
We're actually in the process of starting it right now, staffing it and getting the protocols in place.
I'm a REACH graduate, and so I was like, that
Oh
wasn't
my
there
gosh.
before.
Look at you.
Yeah, well, not look at me, right? Yeah, I went to REACH when I was a kid, and it worked. So
And if I
it's a
could
good
just
program.
throw in there, the model is actually shared by the American Pediatrics Association. So we take just some excitement about overlapping with such an organization as that.
Yeah, it's definitely a good program. Out of you said you serve 300 kids per
Mhm.
year. Are all of those children referred by the law enforcement?
Correct. As part,
Right.
there are kind of going back to that slide that so it's some kind of icons, some graphics, and that kind of thing. So that would be that middle section, would be 300 to 400 annually that are
And-
involved with the juvenile diversion program with the Antioch Police Department.
You guys do not get referrals from any other source?
We have, as it's represented there, we're actively involved in the Antioch Schools, it's almost substance abuse, excuse me, but School Attendance and Review Board, very actively involved in that. And we are actually, we being REACH Project, a member of Health Services, their behavioral health system of care.
So both Antioch Unified School District and the health services also refer you
Correct.
to your program? Okay.
Correct.
And that was the questions for me.
Well, can I also add that I know for a fact that the juvenile probation department does referrals, because my oldest son was referred to the
Correct.
program.
Correct.
And he was working with two individuals, and it was very helpful
Oh,
to
good.
him at that time.
Oh, good.
And I was a part of the process.
Oh, wow.
So I had
Yeah.
her with.
Thank you
Chairlady
for that. I
Vivian
thought
Willis.
if I did mention it, I too quickly mentioned the juvenile probation partnership, but thank you for adding that.
And then there is the opportunity for self-referrals also?
Absolutely. One of
And
my,
how would somebody go about that? I mean, obviously, if there's a law enforcement referral, a behavioral health referral,
Mhm.
et cetera, that's fairly obvious how that would probably occur. But if somebody were to self-refer,
right.
what would that look like?
Yeah, they would, probably the best thing, I mean, they can contact the REACH office at the Antioch Police Department, absolutely. But the community center, the first slide that was up, is open from 9 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. So walk in, a phone call, there's staff at the ready. And that's actually, that's Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays 9 to 5.
Do you have more need than resources, or is it balanced?
You know, thank you for asking that. If this was last year and we didn't have kind of the infusion of the EPSDT program, which our community qualified for, by the way, and I haven't mentioned that with REACH Project and the police department partnership. Prior to that, I would not have hesitated and said that we're undermatched in terms of the resources, and I don't feel that way today.
Oh, that's great.
I'm pleased to say we have a staffing level that we haven't ever had. We're excited.
Reach is nonprofit, right?
Correct, 501c3.
Thank you.
But Susan, can I just say something on the lighter note? I think I shared this with Captain Bittner kind of jokingly leading up to tonight's presentation. One of my favorite questions that's ever been asked by a young person to me was, do you have to be in trouble to get into REACH? And it just tugged my heart, and I could see why someone would ask that question, and that, if you don't mind my saying, that might be along the lines. And I said, absolutely not, but can kind of see it. I mean, that's a role and a resource that we provided for a long time. The answer being no, you don't have to be, but I could see how a 12-year-old might think that.
Okay, thank you. I don't think
Thank
there's
you.
any other questions. Is there public comment?
No public comments for this item.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 5-2, selection of meeting locations outside of City Hall for our meetings on September 15th and November 17th. I believe we had past discussion about this. I know that Commissioner Oha had recommended a few church facilities. And we also talked about something like Antioch High School, which is what we did last year, to be closer to the Sycamore corridor. We utilized the city building on Lone Tree, and then I also offered my building space, which is on the lower end of Lone Tree Way as well. And so we have several options. I will open it up for public comment first, and then we can go into discussion.
No
Is there any
public comment for this item.
Great, thank you. Oh, you're all good. Anybody feel free to jump in?
I thought we were also talking about community engagement, coming up with some ideas regarding it at some point. I'm not sure if you guys had an opportunity.
Well, we've been having lengthy discussions for about, a month now. I don't even believe we even gotten to that point yet. So I don't know how everyone else feels, but I believe we should have it at your location.
Okay, there's definitely 2 dates, so, I have to check the calendar to make sure the dates are open, and Mondays generally are, so it shouldn't be a problem. And then what about for this? Well, we can continue.
Antioch High School was a good idea last time. Did I make it to that one last time? I think I might have been.
No,
out
it
of
got
town.
canceled.
It got canceled, right?
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
So I think we should host it at the high school again.
I'm good with that.
I'm definitely good with the high school. I think there should be something on, both sides of the city for sure. So are we selecting the date, September 15th at Antioch High School?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I
let's do that.
suggest that we give Antioch High School, I don't know if you'd call it the right of first acceptance or the right of first refusal on both dates,
dates.
because we have no idea what their calendar is at this point. I mean, they're just going back to school this week, so
Very true.
it may be that neither of those dates is available, but
Generally, it's the evening, so it, should be, but I'm in agreement with what you're saying, that we have to check with them first.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I agree. We can definitely tentatively say Antioch High School and intentional event space with confirmation from Antioch High School.
and if
Right.
for any reason one of those spaces isn't available, then we can come back and punt.
Or do we want to put a third option now, if Antioch High School is not available?
What about,
What about the community center that we were talking about, the one on,
Sycamore?
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, we would have to reach out. They recently, put that building under new management. I do know, I know the people, so we would have to reach out, but I'm okay with that.
that works?
Would Nick Rodriguez be a viable alternative if Antioch High School wasn't available, or do we consider that sort of an extension of City Hall?
I feel like that's an extension of City
Got
Hall.
it.
It's like
Okay.
next door,
Yeah.
basically.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I think Sycamore would be a good place to meet, for folks, just to be visible for folks. They see what we're doing.
Right, and can I just throw out also, can we take in consideration Genesis Church on East
Oh,
18?
yeah,
Yes.
could be a good option too.
And also another church, True Love, on the corner of East 18th and A Street.
Is that across from like the
From,
Taco Bells?
Actually, it's right next door to
Yeah,
Taco
okay.
Bell's. Yeah, I would just like to throw those two faith-based organizations out there.
And I'm not opposed to either location. I highlight again, because I highlighted it last time. Just, I want to make sure, like all, yes.
City manager?
That all, that all community members feel comfortable just based on their own faith orientation. And so I think Genesis is a great location just because not only is it centered, you know, in the area we're trying to serve, but because they have a large following.
Yes.
And so that actually may bring out community members.
Yes, and they have had town hall.
Yeah,
I
I've been
shouldn't call it
present.
town hall, but they have had community meetings
Right.
at that church. So I believe that the pastor will be more than willing to
I think
allow
Pastor
us to-
Owens would
Yes,
definitely,
yes,
yeah, I agree.
yes.
So yeah, I think those are two great. So should we just keep it there?
I think actually that's probably an easier reach out, like I have their cell phone numbers
Mhm.
versus trying to, yeah, I can reach out to Pastor Owens.
Okay, great. So we're good to go with Genesis Church and Community Center at Sycamore. If
Genesis
that's
Church
tentatively-
is the option if Antioch High School is not available. May I ask, City Manager, how long do you think it would take to contact this Antioch High School to see if it's available?
Suggest maybe your ad hoc do that?
The community engagement?
Yeah. Mhm.
We can do that. I really do like the idea of having it at Genesis Church and,
Over Antioch High School?
yeah, because, I mean, both locations, Antioch High School and Genesis Church. And then if Antioch High School isn't available, we can do it at the Sycamore Community Center, is that,
I thought we were doing intentional and then
okay,
somewhere on the opposite side of the city.
okay.
Yeah, just let me know what you all choose because I'll have to work with my staff operationally to get the logistics going.
Yeah, I was just,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, because of location, I think it'd be more accessible to have it at those two places, because they do have a following. Sorry,
It was
it
canceled.
was canceled,
Mhm.
so.
And to be truthfully and honest with you, I don't, well, I shouldn't say I don't. I just believe that we will have a better turnout if it was in a different location other than Antioch High.
Yeah, I can see having a better turnout at the church. I just want to make
Yes.
sure if we're picking locations that it's widespread across Antioch,
Mhm.
not
Right.
Just
in the same place. You know what I mean?
That's right, right.
I'm definitely not opposed to Genesis Church. It's right down the street from high school anyway.
Right,
It's not a
right.
huge difference.
Yeah.
So-
And it's in the heart of the community in the
Exactly,
hood.
exactly.
That was impacted. That
So,
was mostly impacted, so that's why. So that's why I want to say,
yes,
yeah.
yeah,
So I think intentional is good for that other side of Antioch
okay.
versus like the Antioch Community Center like last year.
That sounds crazy, the other side of Antioch, right?
Ugh,
The
yeah,
opposite side of the, you know.
yeah.
So, yeah, so we have Genesis Church and then intentionals? Yes?
Mhm.
Okay, and we can, I'm just gonna put Genesis for November at this point because I have to reach out to them versus the other space being mine.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do we need to vote on that, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Okay, is there a motion to have our September 15th, 2025 meeting at Intentional Event Spaces and our November 17th, 2025 meeting at Genesis Church?
Second?
First.
First.
Is there a second?
I second.
Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Thank
Oh,
you.
I'm sorry. Is there any public comment?
No public comments for this item.
Okay, thank you. Can we have a roll call, please?
Thank you. Commissioner Kennedy,
Aye.
Commissioner Lacioja,
Aye.
Commissioner Alaquachi,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
and Chair Taylor.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Just for a point of clarification, so will you be reaching out to the pastor, or do you want that to be, because you mentioned, I think you had somebody's cell phone number, or do you want that to be something that the engagement ad hoc takes on?
Don't let me throw work at y'all now. Do you have contact for Pastor Rhodes?
I have their email address. Yeah, I have their email
Oh,
address.
Devin has contact, so community engagement, I will throw that to y'all. Amen. Okay. Item 5.3, we have to select a date, and or not, for our September 1st, 2025 meeting because it falls on a holiday. We also have the option of just having the September 15th meeting and just having one meeting for the month of September.
I'm fine with
Go
one.
ahead.
Oh, I'm fine with one meeting in September. The one thing that I just want to add to this, and for staff, at our last meeting, we had the discussion about potential changes, updates to the existing ordinance, and one of the things that we had talked about was going to one meeting a month, which is
Yeah, nothing would change until that gets passed by
no,
council.
I understand that.
Mhm.
One of the things that I think we need to contemplate as we look at making the change within that ordinance is by holding meetings on Monday nights,
Mhm.
we have January and February where every year, every third Monday is going to be a holiday. And every September, your first Monday is going to be a holiday. And then in November and July, it's going to roll, and potentially even in June with Juneteenth, the 4th of July, and Veterans Day. So all I'm suggesting is that we look at configuring that one meeting a month in such a way that, for example, in September, we meet the third Monday of the month, right? Or in January and February, we meet that first Monday of the month, that we set those up ahead of time so that those holidays are not going to be an issue. That's all
Yeah,
I
that's
was,
up to you all, so just let us know when you modify your dates and we'll accommodate you.
okay.
So, and I think that will have to be agendized based on it being like almost another topic of ordinance discussion versus.
Okay, well, I was just throwing that out as one thing to take into consideration as we look at developing that. So that was the only suggestion.
Yeah, and I was
I
going to
have a
chime in just to say that Chair Taylor is correct. That would require an amendment to the ordinance. And, I mean, considering that there are certain rolling holidays in there, 4th of July, for example, and working around planning with other commissions that would need this council chamber, along with looking at staff resources and just the use of the space. It's my understanding that, this has been worked out to make sure that this could fit here. And while it could be, while it may seem easier to work that into the ordinance, that could cause possible issues in the future, just with, with the kind of fluid thing of holidays, things of that nature. And right now, of course, it's something that could be considered, but it's just kind of like the cleaner way of doing it. It's just the way that it is. Unfortunately, that puts a little bit of, it makes it a little bit awkward for the commission, but other commissions have to face the same thing. planning commission, you know, it's on Wednesday nights, for holiday, you know, Christmas or something can fall on that Wednesday. Then
Mhm.
they're in the same place, so.
Take it, what we've been doing since I've been here is taking it meeting by meeting. So the meeting, the next meeting, if it falls on a holiday, then you decide in the current meeting to change it.
All I was simply mentioning was based on the discussion we had at the last meeting. I would just wanted, this was an opportunity to sort of point out that that's something for us to take into account.
For sure.
Do you know when that's gonna come before the council?
Probably within the next month, yeah.
So as of right now, Commissioner Alaquachi has stated that she's okay with bypassing the September 1st meeting that is on the holiday, and having the September 15th. I keep seeing that you want to say something. Okay, yeah. And what about are you guys okay with skipping in September 15th, or do you want us?
Yes, I'm okay with that,
Okay.
yes.
Skipping September 15th?
September 1st. is a
September 1st.
holiday.
Oh, yeah, Labor Day. So, yeah, I mean, one.
Okay. Is there any public comment?
Wait, so I mean, with that, do we have any pressing upcoming agenda items that we need to discuss?
We would discuss that on August 18th,
18th.
and then that will come forward for the next
And
agenda.
so we can see, well, I just think if we're gonna have a lot of agenda items coming our way, we should move the September meeting to another day. just to
What
get through.
agenda items are you?
No, I'm just saying, because I know the list was kind of robust from last time I asked about putting new items on the agenda. I just wanted to make sure we can get through what's already there,
Yeah, I think
because
we
we've been
should be
putting
fine.
off a lot of stuff.
I think we should be fine. I don't
should
think
be
we've been
fine?
putting off stuff.
Okay, we're good. All right, I can agree to that.
Is there any public comment?
No public comments for this item.
Okay, so we are, is there a motion to skip over September 1st meeting and reconvene on September 15th?
I'll motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Thank you. Commissioner Kennedy,
Aye.
Commissioner Lacey Oha,
Aye.
Commissioner Alaquachi,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Yes.
and Chair Taylor.
Aye.
We have a motion to cancel the first meeting in September.
Thank you. Item 6, public comment.
One public comment.
I started coming to all of the meetings when you all were going to form this police commission oversight, and I've only been to one meeting. What is your purpose here? I mean, what are you all doing? That's what I want to know. You know, I don't see many people in the audience like how it is at the regular council meeting. So if I come here, I want to know what I'm coming here for. What are you guys doing? So far, I haven't really heard anything at this meeting, not saying that, you know, you don't have a lot going on with the police. I'm just interested to know what your role is here. That's it.
Thank you. Our scope as a commission is to review the policy book that the police department has and to make revisions to it. And there's several ad hocs here that do work in regards to policy. So myself, Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Alaquachi has been working with the police department heavily reviewing policy and redrafting it. We have a community engagement ad hoc that is focused right now on ways that APD can better engage with community. We have a training ad hoc, which is not only focused on us being trained to be better commissioners, but also on the training that APD has. And so, and our ordinance, which goes over our scope, is also available on the internet. For the ad hoc committee report out, would you like to go first, Commissioner?
So under the APOC ordinance, the Policy and Practices Committee, like she just mentioned, it's the three of us, Vice Chair Williams, Chair Taylor, and myself, Eloquachi. We meet on a weekly basis with APD and Lexipol, and we discuss the policies that are in the ordinance and also that's in the agreement between APD and DOJ. That's what it is. So those policies are use of force, and we're in the process of reviewing that. We've done a lot of work on it. The other one is First Amendment assemblies. We've reviewed that one, and we still have a little bit of work to do on that. Use of canines, we just went over that in detail just this past week and over the last several weeks. Use of de-escalation techniques on civilians, that's in progress. Bias-based policing, including profiling based on any protective characteristics identified by federal, state, and local law, that's in progress. A lot of discussion on that. And there's some throughputs, like through lines with all of these policies, that what we try to bring to the table, because we're not experts on policy like PD is, but we do have some people that are experts on policy. But what we do try to bring is the community's perspective. We want the policies to be able to be read by the community once they're released in a way where there's definitions that have been added, there's examples, you know, of certain categories. So citizens can read that policy and be able to follow along. If they see that there's a critical incident that's happened out in the public, then they can go back and take a look at the policy to see if there was some issues with it. So I think it's, we're making progress. These are things that they're still being worked on, so we're not able to talk about them in detail right now. But you do have representation at the table. We are talking, we have Manjeet Singh, I may have said your name incorrectly, but Manjeet, he's the DOJ monitor or consultant, and he's there, and he brings a host of great input as well. And APD has been fabulous. The guys have been fabulous working with us, as well as Chief Addington has been there as well. So we've all been working together to try to make this go a little bit better and be seamless for you as the community to read those policies and know that, okay, you know, some of the things that you're worried about are now being addressed, okay? You're welcome.
Thank you, Lisa.
I thought you were going to add into the report.
I was.
Our community engagement, yes, thank you.
If I may add that prior to February of 2024, there was no police oversight here in the city of Antioch. And our former mayor thought that it was something that was needed. And so we are sort of like, we're an oversight commission. And it's already been stated that we are going through the policies. And I know myself, I have gone through those policies. Use of force, for example, because there was a use of force incident that happened in 2020. So we thought that was necessary. Also, the community engagement part is a very critical part of this commission, because as a result of what has happened over the years, there was a lack of trust between the community members and the police department. So now we have this community engagement ad hoc committee, and things are coming together. Community engagement in the city of Antioch is taking place right now. So I just wanted to add on to that, and I'm going to turn it over to.
Okay, so you can segue right into your community engagement report out.
Right.
Go ahead, because you got the notes. I can read them for you.
Okay. Well,
I know I missed the last two meetings. I was out of town, and then
yes,
yeah.
we met on July 14th, and in that meeting we discussed National Night Out, which is tomorrow, August 5th. I know that there will be a total of 12 locations. I don't know all of the locations, But I do know there is a National Night Out in the Sycamore area. Also on Gazelle Court, Mara Vista, Deer Ridge, Eagle Ridge, Laurel Ridge area. Also, what we discussed on July 14th is APOC would become the liaison for APD. Also, APOC and APD will create a plan. We'll create a calendar of events. Also, we talked about the back-to-school backpack drive. If I'm not mistaken, that took place this past weekend, this past Saturday, I believe. And there's another one tomorrow. Thank you. We also talked about neighborhood watch meetings. There was a meeting held on July 15th. And then we also talked about the community liaison officer. I believe that's the correct title. And we met this young man on today, and he's here. And he's standing in the back there. And so, yes. So we met again on today, and our next meeting won't be until September. And then if you have something you would like to add, you're more than welcome.
Thanks, Commissioner Lacey Oha. I think that just to add the fact that I think the department's on track as far as the engagement plan to present to the Department of Justice. In addition to National Night Out and the backpack drive, they'll be doing a toy drive at Christmas. There's some other events that may be coming along with that. Possibility of something at Halloween. They're looking at ways to visit the schools once a month and to become more engaged just across the board. I think that we talked generally about rebuilding those partnerships and the relationships out into the community. And with staffing increasing, with the community engagement division, having 2 of the 3 individuals staffed with Sergeant Fashioner and Officer Amiri. The captain position is being interviewed for now. You know, I think that we came away again from today's meeting feeling very positive about the fact that the department is moving in a good direction, looking for ways to rebuild trust, rebuild engagement, and looking for a variety of opportunities to make that happen. And so that would be all I would add. Thank you.
Thank you. Training? It's you again.
That would be me again. So the training ad hoc has met on a couple of occasions since our last meeting, talking about the training needs of the commission, talking about some of the training needs for the department. When we met the last time and had a discussion with Sergeant Fashioner and Sergeant Kendall, you know, we had a long discussion about the training needs that exist. And I think that there's topics, there's lengths of time. There are a lot of things that are going to have to be really discussed. And I think that as we look at the fact that where this commission was at its inception in March of 2024, and we look at where we are now in July of 2025, you know, one of the things that wasn't in place then, that is in place now, is the agreement with the Department of Justice and some of the stipulations and some of the indications that commissioners undertake certain training. And so I think where we are, based on the discussions with the officers and discussions among ourselves, is that, and I realize I'm jumping ahead here just a little bit, but we would like to make sure that there is a training topic at our next meeting, and that commissioners either reach out to the training ad hoc between now and that next meeting and indicate what their availability would be for training. So, for example, there's going to be training that's going to be 2 hours. There's going to be training that's going to be 4 hours. There's going to be training that could be 6 or 8 hours. And so, you know, are Wednesday afternoons available for most people? Are Thursday mornings available for most people? Because I think that the reality is that the training is going to need to occur. There's going to be scheduling parameters for both commissioners and for the department. There's going to be costs that are going to be involved in that. So it really truly is not going to be fully realistic to say, well, we want to do all of our training after 5 o'clock. Because if there's going to be somebody coming, for example, from the DA's office, the DA's office may not want to pay overtime for somebody to come train, you know, the 7 members of the Police Oversight Commission for the city of Antioch. So, you know, trying to identify commissioners' availabilities, and then I know Sergeant Fashner, I think, has a presentation on some of the topics, and it may be that we move in a direction based on the information that we obtain, is that trainings will be set, and obviously people, you know, things may come up that people may or may not be able to participate, but at least we will be moving, in a direction where we're getting people trained and we're moving again in a forward direction. So that really is, I think, where we are with that. Again, you know, we've had some good conversations, and I think that's what we want, and we're moving in a good direction.
Great, thank you. For budget, it's myself, Commissioner Haddon, and Commissioner Mitchell. Unfortunately, they have not been able to meet with me. I did just recently send over what's called a doodle poll, which might be something that we need to use based on what you were just saying, so we could figure out a schedule that works for all of us. I sent that out to them earlier this week, so hoping we get some response, and then I also plan on sending an email out to APD to kind of go over the budget, and also to city manager to discuss what the APOC budget looks like. And that is my report out. Is there any public comment?
None received.
Upcoming and future agenda items. Is there any public comment?
None
Sorry,
received.
my mic was not on. Thank you. Open for discussion for agenda items?
Yeah, is it possible to pull up what we have in the queue for agenda items? Just
Yeah,
we
so
can-
everything that we discussed in the past, I generally send it over an email, you're CC'd, and I've started to CC all the other commissioners. It is noted that way, and then it rolls over as, if it's not available to be agendized at that time, then it's being worked on by the city staff in the background until they are prepared to present it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just think what we have, I just would like to revisit it in my mind before I start thinking about other things. So I'm gonna go look at that, and then
No problem.
yeah.
I think she mentioned before, Commissioner Kennedy, that training,
Training,
Mhm.
any specific,
talking
Topic.
about, like 3 tranches, training for commissioners, training for, self-paced training, things that we can do on our own, and then training for APD, just having a timeline on when that training is gonna be done for APD, having a better understanding of it.
so just so I'm clear, like a training calendar for,
Yeah, training
APOC.
calendar.
and then also a training overview for APD.
Just kind of a calendar, what time frame? Like, is this gonna get done over, the things that are in the agreement, will it get done over a period of 6 months, or is it a year, or is it?
Yeah, it's
2 years?
ongoing and continuing based on post. But the consultant will give an overview when he presents, after the chief is back, on the initial training plan, but training is happening all the time, so we can let you know what the training plan is. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
And I think to kind of, this all sort of dovetails together because I think Lieutenant Cook mentioned earlier that, there are trainings that are taking place departmentally. I don't believe there's anything that would prevent one of us from sitting in on one of those sessions if we were available and it was appropriate. So, I think this in and of itself is going to be, I think, a fairly extensive discussion because there's lots of different pieces or spokes coming off of the wheel. So looking at what all those opportunities are, looking at what trainings are specifically for us, what trainings might be beneficial for us to sit in on, all of those things. And then one of the other things, and I don't know if this necessarily falls under training or not, but I would like the opportunity for us to get some more information for those of us that are going and traveling to some of the conferences, to be able to have a little more involvement in how, like, our flights are booked and so on and so forth, so that, knowing that we have a budget, obviously, to stay within, the possibility that we may have, I'm just going to use Southwest for an example. So, now that Southwest is charging a bag fee, unless we're booking those flights with a Southwest credit card through the department, we're going to have to pay a $50 bag fee. If we as commission members have Southwest credit cards, we get to avoid a $50 bag fee, which is a savings for the city in the process. It also puts us, I think, in a position where it's easier for us to coordinate travel for all the people who are going, looking at price, looking at schedules, et cetera. So I don't know if that's a discussion for us to have here or offline.
Yeah, that's offline. So, and also you could, we don't want to take away all the other airlines that may be cheaper. And so we will have that discussion in terms of a schedule. So the commissions and boards are not staffed. So that's why I was like, oh, you have to, because I'm not your admin. And so for the training specifically for this commission, we do want to make it easier, which is why we will appoint someone to assist with travel only for the purposes of what Commissioner Kennedy is saying, how to streamline. One of the things that I love about when a civilian oversight commission goes to travel is that you get to talk in the airport, travel together, bond. That's another part of the travel. So to find out that you all are on different flights is very inefficient to me, and an absolute waste of time and money. So we will get together with APD and the captain and chief and figure out a better way to streamline your flights so that you don't have to worry about it. Really, we want to just hand you your ticket and tell you where to go to the hotel and give you your stipend and let you go. We don't want you to think about all the other stuff like booking your own stuff. So we'll figure that out.
And I appreciate that. And just to be clear, anytime I raise something like that, it is in full awareness of the fact that y'all have staffing challenges and that everybody's got more plates spinning than they know what to do with. So if there is anything we can do to help streamline that and to be a part of that process to make life easier, that is always where I will be coming from.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I was wondering if it was possible to get a update on the policy recommendations. For example, section 4-3.106, meetings. And the section I would like for us to focus on is absences, if that was possible, because I don't want to put it out there, but we have to discuss this. We really do. And I don't know if it's appropriate to
I
discuss
can
it
just,
open or
if this helps,
behind.
I can definitely
Yeah.
tell you that it's agendized for a recommendation to remove
Okay.
a commissioner.
And that's what I was
Mhm.
getting to, because I see that it's not improving, and it's a, how would I want to put it? It is sort of a.
It's habitual absence.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's becoming a deterrent, in my opinion.
Mhm.
It really is. Thank you.
Hmm. So yeah, that I actually agendized it for this meeting. Unfortunately, I was a little confused on travel planning, so I didn't think I would be present because of our planning our travel next week. And so I removed it to make sure that we would have a full commission for that discussion. So it will be on the next agenda.
And I guess I shouldn't say it's becoming a deterrent, but what is that word? It's becoming a, I know it's, can't think of the word right now, someone help me out, but it's becoming a problem.
Mhm.
Distraction, that's the
Mhm.
word. It's becoming I'm still tired from being on vacation.
No worries.
It's becoming a distraction, and I feel now's the time that we discuss it.
Stand in agreement.
There was a specific, like, I thought it was the Brady Act, but there was another law that I wanted to kind of review as a commission and for the public, but I'll have to get back to you on it.
No worries.
Yeah.
Mhm. Any other recommendations? Yeah, so I was just gonna add that the removal was there, but you brought it up, so that was great. I will go ahead and review the list as you stated, and if there's anything else, you guys will be CC'd. But this is fine for me, and then we'll of course have the report out from the chief. And is there any other presentations that you all want to go over? Policy-wise, anything of interest right now, especially considering our 6 responsibilities, our prime responsibilities? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So right now we have the training suggestion, the recommendation for removal, and our regular APD report outs. Okay.
So what would be the future agenda items again? I didn't get the third one.
I was just mentioning the regular APD report outs.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. And then, do you guys want to, our next agenda item is for commissioner report outs. So is there anything you would like to report out?
I attended a lot of ad hoc committee meetings, and we visited the backpack drive on Saturday, and looked like it was going really well.
Commissioner All?
Well, I don't really have any report outs. Well, no, I don't have any report outs.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report. I'm just gonna share that myself. Commissioner Oha and Commissioner Alakwachi will be traveling to Florida in a few days for the Noble Conference, and so we'll be excited to come back and report out. Actually, can we, I'll just include it in the email, the report out for what we experienced at Noble for the agenda. And yeah, looking forward to that, and the team bonding that city manager mentioned. It won't be on the airplane, but it will take place during the conference.
And unfortunately, I am an early bird person, so I'll probably be the first one leaving out at 5:30 a.m. because I don't like to travel at night. At 5:30 a.m. Okay.
Well, look at that there. Worked out anyway,
Yes,
right?
yes. So I
am
always,
not.
Yes. Whenever I travel back to the East Coast, I always get on the early flight.
I leave early though. I come back at 7 a.m. So.
Okay.
All right, and that was the only thing that I had to report out. Is there any public comment?
None received.
Staff communications? No? Okay, thank you. Our next meeting date is August 18th at 6:30 p.m. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second?
A roll call vote, please.
Thank you. Commissioner Kennedy,
Aye.
Commissioner Lacey Oha,
Aye.
Commissioner Alakpachi,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
and Chair Taylor.
Aye.
The motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:05 PM passes 5-0.